I've got something to confess. About a month ago, I got scammed. Deep six figures in cryptocurrency. So, what I wanted to talk about today is how that happened and how you and I can bounce back from scams in cryptocurrency because they happen all too often. Today, I'll talk about some security tips, some safety tips to help you avoid ever getting scammed, or if you have been scammed, hopefully you can get some inspiration from my story in this video. So, if you enjoy this tutorial, this video, this insight into me being raw and transparent, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and do turn notifications on so don't miss a time-sensitive upload. Before we dive in, don't forget to check out GTG, where you can get access to my daily educational videos, my analysis, my trade setups, and so many great community members and other traders who have been trading in this industry for multiple years. Come and sign up in GTG. We'd love to have you in there. All right, guys, this is how I got scammed. So at the end of April, about 4 to 5 weeks ago, I was victim to a scam. This scam hurt me financially. It was a deep six-figure scam that happened via social engineering in a range of sort of ways. So I really wanted to spread awareness. I wanted to talk about strategies to bounce back from that physically, emotionally, and in cryptocurrency. But also I want to talk about how you can prevent those sorts of things, the security, the safety, and what to look out for in future scenarios where you could be faced with a potential crypto scam. Now, how did it actually happen? So I was DM'd a pretty reputable account. I received information that I would like to be on an interview process. I vetted it, looked all legit, came from a legit account that had previously posted on Twitter. Secondly, I was followed up by another account, okay, a fellow crypto punk in the space, okay, did a bit of research, but after going back and having a look again, there were more red flags than there seemed to be. Now, what I really want to make clear is that these scammers are incredibly intuitive. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how exactly to exploit. As soon as they get your money, their funds, they send it through mixers on chain, and they send it to chains and exchanges that can't actually access your money. So that is how they do it. It's incredibly sophisticated, and unfortunately, in my case, I won't get a cent back. Now, what did I happen and how did it actually happen? I ignored some pretty simple red flags, okay? The accounts were mainly retweeting posts. They weren't really commenting. They weren't really posting unique content. That's usually a red flag. Now, I have found out in more recent times that you can actually pay using simple bots on Twitter to actually get verified followers and other mutual followers to follow your account. So that is a hack that you do need to be aware of, that people can actually pay to falsely have other accounts follow them to make them appear more reputable. And the last thing is you don't want to ignore 95% of the DMs. Now, I get hundreds of DMs every single day. Mainly, a lot of the people are asking about trading. They're asking about GTG to join us, or they're just asking about content creation. And so I do like to go through them to help as many people as possible. Unfortunately, in this case, it did lead to a particular scam. Now, the story was too good to be true. That is often the biggest sign that is likely a scam or a red flag, okay? They were promising certain things that inevitably, when I look back in hindsight, were a very big red flag. Now, I was overworked, I was exhausted, I was looking for easy opportunities, and that obviously led to me clicking a few links, getting wallet drained, and also sending money in particular investments that actually weren't a true investment. However, this might not necessarily apply to you. So scams can actually look in a range of different ways, different in certain ways. So always avoid clicking links. And I'm going to talk about some strategies to deal with that later on in the video. But always look for red flags, okay? Always assume that people are out to get you. I know that sucks, but unfortunately, that's the digital age that we live in these days. And it's imperative that you protect is the word I'm looking for, your Web 2, okay, and your Web 3 identity and your funds, okay? Because at the end of the day, guys, crypto is a very lucrative space, but that also attracts the most lucrative scammers out there. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper. So how do you bounce back from a scam, okay? So in my case, I lost deep six figures. Now that would hurt, and that did hurt. That was about 30 to 40% of my entire crypto portfolio at the time. And how do I bounce back from that? Okay, I took time to process it. Okay, you can't just ignore it. It's like grief. Okay, you have to learn to deal with it. You have to learn to accept it. Once you can do that, you can really progress yourself and move forward again and have those free spirits and understand that, look, that shit thing happened, but I can bounce back from this. I've done it before and I'll do it again, which is a point down the bottom that I have as well. But I took time to process it. I took about a week off crypto. I let GTG members know what happened and said, hey guys, I just need some time to process this. I then talked to only the people that I trust. I talked to immediate people in my life. I talked to a couple of people in crypto who I trust with a lot of work behind the scenes with GTG. who I've been working with for a long, long time. And they have my full support, have my full backing, and a lot of those sorts of things. So talking to those people allows you to get it out there and allows them to console you as well, and allows you, again, to kind of let it go and move on from that particular crime. Now, obviously, do report the crime to the police. Try and get lawyers involved if you think you can retain some funds. But unfortunately, due to crypto, it is not really jurisdiction based. Okay, it's not really regulated in any way. So in my case, the funds were untrackable. If they are linked to USDT, so Tether, guys, if they are linked to any exchange, it is more likely that you could get your funds back in time. However, in my case, they are all in self-custody wallets. Only a very small percentage went to exchanges. And even then, the exchanges can be absolute pricks about trying to get your money back, because they could be just thinking that you are a scammer, even though you come from a lawyer-based opportunity. But even then, it costs so much money to go to court and actually get a court order and apply that to all these exchanges. Far more money that's going down the drain. And essentially, guys, these exchanges don't have to give you their money back either, okay? From these accounts or from the wallets that you've tracked. So that's the other thing. Crypto is sad that way. Whilst it's very lucrative, like I said before, unfortunately, in some cases, it is actually still a big industry that needs a lot of work. Now, in my case, I'm extremely lucky because it is a taxable loss. And in most cases, if you file a police report, guys, if you actually go about it in the right way, if you've had a financial loss in cryptocurrency, it can be a capital loss for that financial year. So do your research and chat to your accountants about this, because that dramatically improves your ability to essentially make sure that you don't have to pay tax on all this money that you previously had, and now you previously don't have that to cover your bills. So always do your research and chat to your accountants about that. But what really inspired me is that I had done it before, guys. I had run up a portfolio from 4 figures to over 7 figures this cycle alone. I'd run up money the both previous 2 cycles, so I knew I still had it in me. So that gave me inspiration to work harder and to stay consistent with my goal. And that's to educate as many people as you, but to also run up and improve my life as much as possible. Now, as I said before, double down on what you're good at and double down on yourself, okay? If you have a proven track record, go for it. You know that you can make that money back. You know that you can achieve those goals that you can set out to do. If you don't think that you can believe in yourself, check out GTG. Check out someone like me or other people out there who you can learn to trust, because they provide educational value. I'm not here to max extract like 99% of the crypto space. I'm here to educate you, like this video, to be transparent and to get out education in a range of different ways so that you can protect yourself but make better decisions in cryptocurrency to hopefully improve your life. So doubling down on what you're good at and doubling down on yourself is 100% what I would advise. So what I did is I doubled down on GTG. GTG is immensely growing over the past few weeks. We've had immense growth in terms of people jumping in, new partnerships, okay, new deals that we're doing behind the scenes. We're doubling down on the business. We've got new sales managers. We've got a new landing page coming soon. I started a newsletter. I just went to town, guys, on what I'm good at and what I want to do, okay? And that's provide educational and trade setups to as many people as possible and help you in your cryptocurrency journey. Now, the last step that I really want to talk about is learning to let go. Now, probably the hardest thing in any decision in life is learning to let go. Now, if you can do that, guys, that is the secret sauce to really succeeding in everything that you do or anything that you do in life. But it is obviously the hardest thing to do. In 2021, I actually got scammed $30,000 as well. So it's not the first time that I've been scammed. This time around, it was a lot of money. Last time around, it was still a lot of money at the time for me. And unfortunately, as much as I hate that this happens, okay, you do have to learn to let it go and move on with your life, okay? There's no point regretting it, okay? There's no point worrying about what happened in the past. You need to accept that it happened in the past. You need to grow from that and learn the lessons from that. But what you need to do is let it go and start improving the present and improving, therefore, your future. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is how to actually protect yourself. Now, there's a few different things that I've already discussed in the video. Don't click random links, okay? So even in these YouTube video comment sections, there's so many false accounts out there with random links, with random shills of tickers. Literally ignore 99% of comments on Discord, comments on Twitter, comments on YouTube, guys, because unfortunately there's bots out there trying to steal your money all the time. Ignore the emails, ignore the texts. Okay, likely they are phishing scams as well. You get plenty of junk mail every single day. You get phishing scams from accounts that are pretending to be Binance, pretending to be SwiftX, pretending to be a Photon bot, whatever it is, okay? You get all these scam emails, and majority of the time, as I said earlier, if it looks to be too good, then it likely is a scam. And always double check it with other people. That's a great strategy as well. Routinely check yourself. So what I mean by that is do an audit, okay? Double check where all your money is. If you think it's in a compromised situation or wallet, get it out of there, move it somewhere else safer. Okay, routinely check your passwords, update them, routinely update all of your dApps, all of your wallets that you're using, all the browsers that you're using. Make sure that you're staying active on your funds and moving them into better wallets. So that's the last couple points that I have here. Exchanges versus on-chain versus ledgers. Now I have a range, okay? I literally have a ledger sitting right here that I have money on and will be moving more money to over time. Ledgers are obviously cold wallets that you can save, okay, and make sure that it is extremely self-custody and your own wallet. Now, obviously a lot of exchanges out there are safe, but they are never 100% safe. You never know what cybercrime can occur, whether the funds get stolen, whatever it is, okay? But always do your research on what exchanges you're using. I'm using SwiftX. You can sign up down below, get a free $20. They are the safest exchange in Australia and New Zealand by far, and you get a discount on fees as well. But I have my money on there, I have my money on my ledger, and then I'm trading on chain. Now, what I've found is that as soon as you start to make some pretty crazy profits, get them off your on-chain wallets, get them off your hot wallets. So the wallets where you're connecting to websites, where you're trading a lot of these meme coins, where you're trading a lot of these NFTs, wherever it is, okay, chasing these airdrops, get your majority of your money off those on-chain wallets and move them into safer wallets that are cold wallets, okay, that are only interactive in a particular way, usually only one time for ledgers, or obviously exchanges where you have to go through multiple security steps to actually get access to your money on that exchange. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Ultimately, what really happened to me happens way too often to people in crypto. You get scammed, you get a loss of money, okay? What the beautiful thing for me is that I actually protected myself. I only had limited funds over on these wallets that became compromised. I had money elsewhere, as we discussed, on my ledger, on my exchanges. I had my Punk on a completely different exchange, a wallet. So that allowed me to sell my Punk and recoup a little bit of the money that I had lost, obviously. So it's imperative. Security and safety in crypto is absolutely imperative. And if you need any help, come and check us out in GTG. We can literally teach you all of these things. But let me know in the comments down below. If you've been scammed, I'm more than happy to help you out. We can chat about it in the comments, or we can chat about it in GTG. I hope you really learned something today. I hope you really appreciate me being transparent out here and doing my best to help educate you in every single way possible to really help you achieve your crypto dreams.